Good day, everyone. Today, we'll be discussing an essential topic that affects both consumers and businesses: the basic policy regulations of practices relative to weights and measurements. These regulations ensures fairness, accuracy, and trust in consumer transactions, protecting both buyers and sellers in the marketplace. But before anything else, let us define what is weights and measurements. Weights and measurements are standardized units used to express quantity, size, or volume. In commerce, they are served as an universal language, ensuring that buyers receive what they pay for and that business operate transparently. Without proper regulations, unfair trade practices could arise, leading to economic instability and loss of consumer trust.
Importance of regulations. Regulations standardize measuring practices, so everyone uses the same units. They enforce compliance, protecting consumers from tricks like shortchanging or mislabeling. For businesses, they create a trustworthy environment, reducing legal risk and enabling fair competition. Overall, these regulations keep the marketplace stable and efficient. So, for example, in the food industry, it is important to have a regulation because without food safety regulations, companies could potentially use unsafe ingredients, handle food unsanitarily, or mislabeling. So, it is important to have a regulation to avoid consequences like this could lead to widespread food poisoning outbreaks, harming consumers, and managing public trust in the industry. There are key areas of regulations. So first is measuring instrument. Design, performance, installation, and use of trade measuring instruments are regulated. This ensures accuracy, reliability, and proper operation for fair transactions.
Trade measuring instruments, such as weighing scale, must meet design, performance, and accuracy standards. Proper installation and use of these instruments are required to ensure reliability in transactions. For example, market vendors must use government certified scales that undergo periodic inspection to ensure that they do not tamper with weights.
Second is packaged goods. Pre-packaged goods must use standard units, declare MRT to prevent overchanging, and show expiry dates for perishables to protect consumers.
Pre-packed goods must be labeled with standard units of measurement. The maximum retail price, or the MRP, must be declared to prevent overcharging. Perishable goods must have an expiry date to protect consumer health. For example, a pack of sugar should be labeled as 1 kilogram, and the store should not manipulate the packaging to contain less than what it is.
Next is enforcement. Regulatory authorities use inspections, audits, and penalties to enforce regulations. This ensures businesses comply, maintaining a fair marketplace.
Authorities conduct inspection, audits, and impose penalties to ensure compliance. Business found violating regulations may face fines, confiscation of effective measuring tools, and other legal actions. For example, a market caught using tampered digital scales to show a higher weight than actual could be fined and required to replace its measuring tools. Several operations have been conducted across the country to enforce compliance with weights and measurements regulations. Here are some of the news reported about weights and measurements enforcement. The first news is from the GMA News Online. Authorities of Valenzuela City conducted a surprise inspection in public market. They seized and destroyed defective weighing scales. Vendors using defective skills were fined 5,000 pesos for their first offense. This one is from the DTI website. A joint operation in Sanchez Mira, Cagayan, on July 12, 2019, led by the local government and DTI, resulted in the confiscation of 6 defective weighing scales. Authorities inspected 33 market stalls and 15 businesses to enforce fair trade laws and the metric system. DTI also monitored Timbangan ng Bayan and conducted an educational session for vendors on proper trade practices. And this one is from the Philippine News Agency website. The article stated that the city's Operation Timbangan confiscated 38 defective and uncalibrated weighing scales. Vendors were fined 1,000 pesos, and non-compliant scales were either recalibrated or destroyed. Consumers were advised to report any fraudulent weighing practices. And lastly, this is from the Tabawenyo Disciplinado website. The article stated that the city treasurer's office held a calibration info sessions for vendors. Vendors were educated about the 3-month calibration rule and penalties for fraud. Authorities reinforced the Timbangan ng Bayan initiative, ensuring accessible and fair weighing for consumers. Next is the consumer protection. Consumer protections ensures that the buyers get the correct quantity of goods they pay for, preventing fraud and financial exploitation. Regulations requires accurate weighing scales, proper product labeling, and fair pricing. The example of this is the Article 61. Now, let us tackle what is Article 61. Article 61 focuses on protecting consumers by ensuring accurate measurements in trade and commerce. It mandates businesses to use properly calibrated and certified measuring instruments to prevent fraudulent practices. By ensuring these regulations, consumers can trust that they are receiving the correct quantity of goods for their money, fostering fairness and integrity in the marketplace. Now, we will tackle how regulations provide significant advantages for businesses. First, increased trust. Customers are more likely to return to businesses that follow ethical practices. For example, a butcher shop that consistently provides accurate weights, it earns a good reputation among buyers. Second, better reputation. Compliance enhances brand image and attracts more customers. For example, a supermarket known for fair pricing and proper weight labeling will attract more loyal customers. Lastly, lower legal risk. This is to avoid fines, legal consequences, and potential business closure. For example, a retail store caught shortchanging customers through incorrect weighing could face hefty fines or suspension of operations.
There are two key areas of regulation, so fair competition and economic stability. So fair competition creates a level playing field, preventing unfair advantages. So for example, both coffee shop must adhere a minimum pricing regulations, preventing the daily grind from engaging in predatory pricing. They also must comply with truth in advertising laws, ensuring they accurately represent their products and ingredients to consumers. This allows Bean and Drew to compete fairly on the quality of their coffee and customer service, rather than being forced to engage in unethical practices to survive.
Next is the economic stability. This encourages consumer spending and investment, leading to business growth and market confidence. For example, when consumers are confident that they are getting the right quantity of goods, they are more likely to shop freely, boosting sales and economic activity. To summarize, compliance with weights and measurements regulations is crucial for fair commerce. It protects consumers from being shortchanged, fosters trust in businesses, and supports a stable economy by ensuring fair competition. As consumers, we should always be vigilant and report any violations we encounter. Businesses must invest in accurate measuring instruments and train their staff to uphold fair trade transactions. Lastly, regulators must continue conducting inspections and enforcing policies to maintain fair and sustainable marketplace.
Consumers should be vigilant and report violations. Businesses must invest in accurate equipment and train staff. Regulators need to conduct inspections and enforce the rules. Together, we can ensure a fair and sustainable marketplace.
Together, by following these policies, we can build a marketplace where fairness and accuracy thrives. That concludes our discussion on the importance of weights and measurements regulations. I hope this has given you a valuable insights into how these policies protect consumers, promote fair trade, and support economic stability. Thank you for your time and attention.